Hi, good afternoon. How's it going? All right, I am back this afternoon with some more beads. I definitely got to get these finished. Okay, and I actually have a bit of a decision that I've finally made. So for a while now, let me pick this up again. So for a while now, I have been debating on what in the world that I need to use for spacers on these. And I hadn't really found anything that I really liked that met the aesthetic of what I was going for. At one point, I did see the possibility of using twine, of like jute twine, because then I could thread the beads with the twine, wrap it around the bar here, hold them in place, you know, and then it kept them from being too loose on the bar as well. And I tried that. Last night I went through and tied some special knots and rethreaded these and decided in the end that I didn't like it at all. And so I took it off. And this morning I took it off and I rethreaded the beads, and I was sitting there and I was just thinking about, well, what in the world am I going to do with these? And I caught myself doing exactly what I'm doing now and just kind of fidgeting with the beads, right? And just sort of moving them around. And just to test it, to test out my theory here, I actually handed this one to my daughter. And I said, hey, this one's yours. Hang on to it for a little while for me. And she did. And she spent probably about an hour just sitting there, you know, doing this kind of stuff and moving the beads around, you know, making them all spin, stuff like that, right? So, and that sort of confirmed it for me. I am going to leave them without any spacers in them. I'm going to leave them nice and loose like this. And I'm just going to work also off the fact that, okay, they're a great keychain, they're hand painted, they're very, very lightweight, but they're also great for fidget. Now, I actually gave this to her and left it with her, and she played with it for almost a steady hour. And as you can see here, there's no damage done to the beads themselves. There's no marks on them or anything. So the sealer that I used worked really well. It's, you know, holding up. So I think that's really going to work. The other part of it too is that these are a little bit tactile. They're these rainbow ones especially, because I added the other silver on top, right? And the silver is a little bit thicker than the other paints. And so when I added the smaller dots in this one in the center here, it is raised slightly. So it is a little bit bumpy. And so I asked my daughter about that, what she thought about that, and if she liked the way that they feel. And she did. And so there we go. I've made a decision. With that in mind, so let me hang this one back up here. I have some of my finished ones up there. Okay. So, so for example, I have some that I've finished here. And what I thought I was going to go ahead and do then, because these ones have not been sealed, obviously. I think I wanted to take these and add maybe another top dot, especially this one, because I really do like the pattern of the way it came out. But I think it needed maybe just a little bit something extra, right? So I do have, I wasn't 100% sure if I wanted to do the light pink, or I do actually have a very light buttermilk color. I actually need to grab that here if I can find it. There we go, light buttermilk, which just about matches the color of the bead itself. So what I think I'm going to do is get a little bit of this and add another dot to the 4 here, right? And then just kind of bring that up a little bit, make it a little more tactile before I seal these. Okay, and then I have 2 more over here. I have the blue and the black that I do sort of have a plan to start on if I've given myself enough time for that. So So there's that. Let me see if I can't. These beads down here are a little loose on my stick. It's a little better. There. Okay. And so again, I don't necessarily really want to paint over these or anything. I just want to give them a little bit more feel, a little more raised surface. Let me get this shook up. This one's a little rough. There. Okay. I really don't need much. Maybe only need this 1.5, I think might actually just be fine. So let's see. And although they're real small dots, kind of want to lay it on a little thick. I suppose if I really wanted to go at it, I could have thickened my paint just a bit. Oops. Let's see. Didn't like where that one was sitting. Okay, there's that. And then let's go back to this one. There, that's better. Okay. Gonna go to the other side here. I know the other side is not dry, but I don't think it's gonna cause an issue. It's just the one dot. Do one in the middle as well. I probably do want maybe some more of this dark color though on the side. Oops, here. Which color was this? The Cherry Merlot? It's been a minute since I did these. Oops, the wrong one. I'm going to assume it is. Yeah, okay. And then let's do 1.5. There. That looks great. I think I really like that now. Okay. All right, so those ones I'm gonna let sit now. Put those off to the side. Okay, let's see. Just adjusting these blue ones here. Okay. As far as these ones go, because I know I want something a little more tactile, I do have this metallic, and I don't know if I've really ever used it more than maybe one time. But I do know that it's thicker, and I think it'll make a really nice feel. So I'm going to use this. And then let's get something, let's get another blue. I was thinking about a really dark blue, but now I'm not so sure. Something that kind of matches it. Or you just go with the silver. I have gray too, but I don't know that I want to do gray, but that's definitely a possibility now that I'm looking at it. Because otherwise it's going to be the white pearl. I could just do white as well. Oh, now I can't make up my mind. For my other ones, I have the dark and then the light. Okay, that's what I'm thinking is, you know what? I don't like the white at all. I really, really don't. I think I kind of like the really dark. I might just be might be overthinking this here too. And what if I change my mind completely? Yeah. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go with something completely different. Okay, all right, so let's do one side first here. Now I'm just going to be doing the background, so it's not all going to be one color, but at least the back is for a moment. Just make sure I can get in between these here. Okay, and then we'll do 2 more on the top and on the bottom here. Let's see. It's kind of hard to do sideways. Okay. Now these ones need to dry before I flip it over to the other side. So I'm going to put those away for a second. And then, like I said, I liked the rainbow a lot. That so far is my favorite. And I think it's going to go over well. So I'm going to do more of those. I need just a little bit of white in my palette. Oh, my chair's squeaking here. I'm going to do the same thing as I did with the others there. I'm going to start out with a 5 and then we're going to go into a 4. Somehow I got that paint underneath my fingernail. Try to get that off. There we go. Okay, so we're going to do that same thing here. And again, this is just the background. Ooh, almost went for the blue. I'll have to take a look at the originals because I don't remember exactly which colors that I had. For example, for the green and the yellow. So I'm gonna have to double check that. And although this is a very, very simple pattern, it seems to work the best. It fits nicely, it's very simple, but it stands out because it's simple. Okay. All right, I'm going to come back to this. I'm pretty sure these are dry. Okay. Okay. All right, so the next step on these, I'm going to need to get them varnished. Let's take a look at the blue ones though. That's probably dark enough to where I can flip it over. Okay, and when I'm doing this, this kind of tilty stuff, I'm basically just looking because in the light, without having to touch it, the wet paint shines and the dry does not. So if it's mostly non-reflective, then I'm okay. No guarantee that I'm actually getting this directly in the middle of the opposite side, but close enough. these colors as I'm doing this. These 3 dots in a row. It reminds me of, no, I don't watch it. My daughter didn't either, so probably gonna screw it up. But the Lilo and Stitch character. That's what that reminds me of. I'm going to assume that's Stitch, but never seen it. Okay. So now I've got both sides there. Wipe my tool off and let's see if I can go back to the black one at this point. As slow as I'm going today, I imagine that it's dry. Okay. I don't know that you guys can actually hear it or not, but I've got so much background noise. I have my window open out here. Apparently my neighbor decided to start sawing something. And then I've got sirens going. An ambulance or something going by, and of course that sets off the dogs in the neighborhood. So yeah, it's kind of funny. And then of course my own dog. Okay. So after doing some more of these off camera, this is the setup that has been the easiest for me personally, without having to buy anything additional or you know, go to too many lengths to try to DIY something. Yeah, and essentially all I did was I stole a little bit of my daughter's clay. She has black clay for some reason, whatever. Not even Play-Doh. And then pushed these into it, right? So these little dots of clay, they're not quite air dry, but they're, what do they call that? It's a little bit hard from the air. And that works perfectly to sit this little skewer on. And then the dip in my palette is just enough to hold the beads above the surface. And then for the skewer, as you can see here, I end up using my little pinky again as a stabilizer. It goes off without a hitch. So it's been really fun to do these once you finally get into a routine and are able to get through it quickly. All right, so there's that. All right, so these are going to be multicolored. What else have I got going on here? Let's see. I'm going to pick up my bag of empty stuff. I don't think I have any more black ones that I hand painted. I do have some that were painted though. I do have these as well. So these pink ones, I've got paint on me. So these pink ones, I originally started like this, right? And I had a few color dots on the side and I'm like, wow, they blend in too much. And so I put this on there. And I think that definitely helps. So I should probably go through, what have I got? Oh, got an odd number. And let me see, I'm pretty sure it was the fuchsia. Yeah, the royal fuchsia. Okay. The fun thing about this one is I only have 3 skewers prepared. So these I get to do by hand. Okay. I did the other ones this way too, though. Might have had, I might have used the other end of my tool. Looks a little thicker, so what I might do is, since I have an odd number of them, I'll do these ones thin and then one of them thick so that I have a set of 4. Because again, there's 4 beads that will fit on a keychain. Okay. Now these are well beyond dry. I mean, it's been weeks since I've touched these, so. Not worried about them. And then I think on the other one, to match, I'll try my 1.5 end. Yeah, I totally screwed that one up. Let's see. Benefit of having everything really dry. Can already do that one. There. Let's not do that again, huh? See, now these are the other ones that I did. So definitely much thicker. Okay, set that off to the side somewhere. Can I stick that? There we go. Okay. Let's do the thicker one to get that out of the way. That way at least I'll have one set. But I do think I like it with the thicker, or with the, excuse me, the thinner lines. I still kind of want it to be a little dainty. Sheesh. I don't know how I did the other ones without putting them on the stick. Very fiddly like this. Oops. Okay, but once I get these done, then let me go back to, let's see, what have I got sitting over there? The blue ones. Yeah, the blue one I think is probably dry enough. And then I have the rainbow too. Okay, this one's probably not thick enough here. There. Okay, there's that. Trying very carefully to set them down. Okay, so then I'll have a set of 4 like that. Let's see. Let me get that blue paint off my finger. Before I know it, it's going to be transferred somewhere. Let me check on my blue real quick before I get into that. Okay. Ooh, that side's still very wet. Okay. Those aside. And anybody that is has just kind of shown up, you know what I'll do? I'll stick that guy there. That's essentially what I'm going for. These are going to turn into keychains, and then I recently found out that these make fantastic little fidgets if I don't put a spacer, a bead spacer, on the keychain bar. So that's how we're going to do that. And yeah, normally I would totally be painting these on a stick instead of trying to hold them in my hand. But all three of the sticks of the skewers that I paint on are occupied. Tried to lay that one down and it didn't lay down properly, so I got a smudge here. Let me get that off. There. You know, just out of curiosity. Nah, they don't fit on there. Yeah, I was hopeful for a second it would go on a Q-tip. Ain't gonna happen though. Right. And it's not like I don't have a bag of like 30 more of those skewers that I could use, but I'm too lazy to go do that. I'm busy. It was a really short one. I think it'll be okay though. That one. Okay. Oh my gosh, one more. Thank goodness. Then I can move on back to something else. There, those are done. Oh, darn it. I think I smeared that one. I'm pretty sure I did. Those are very difficult to lay down. Let me get any of that paint off my hands here. Try that one more time. There. I think I got that one okay now. I think. And this one. Okay. So now I'm just having to go back through and touch up some of these that when I sat them down, they got goofed. So I don't know how I did this one. Need to find a better way to do that, but actually the problem is not that I need to find a better way to sit it down. I need to just do it properly the first time and stop trying to hold these. right, thank goodness. No more of those. Okay, so let's go check out blue. Dry, dry, beautiful. Let's see. So I can do the lighter blue that kind of sort of matches. I could do this white. I decided I really don't like or don't want to use the sparkly blue. I don't know. I have, what else have I got? We don't want gold. I think it's probably just going to be this one. The white. I think that's okay though, actually. This is a white pearl that I'm going to use. So get that on my palette. And let's go into I3. Let's see. And again, I sort of want to make these a little bit raised. So I'm trying to keep the dots sort of pointed, a little thicker. And I will go back in again and add in another probably dark blue dot on the top of this one. I'm just trying to make some different colors. I don't know what people like. Blue seems really solid though. I did some green ones that I'm not exactly happy with. I don't really know what to do with them. I'm just gonna have to figure that out maybe another day. Okay. Okay. There's that. I'm gonna let this dry before I can get onto the other side. I'm gonna get my black ones though and do the center dot here. The individual dots are going to be different colors. They're going to be rainbow, but the middle dot is this, that white pearl. Leave it nice and thick. There. All right, I'm gonna take a drink of coffee here. What else have I got to get done? The next thing that I have on my plate then for these, let's see. I've yet to figure out what to do with yellow. Let's see. All right, so these are the colors that I've got left. So I've got purple, blue, teal, the red. These are the ones that I hand painted. You can tell because they're the matte color. The ones that came from the store direct. Let me tell you, I don't know what I'm going to do with yellow. Yellow is very, very bright. The green. I've already done all of the pink. I'm going to make another set. Do I even have? Yeah, I do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got an odd number. I don't have enough for 2 sets of these beige ones, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I've got a 6. And then I don't know if you can tell or not, but I have 2 different colors of these blue. Let me show you. They came with these 2 colors. So I have to figure out what to do with those 2. Oops. I tried to pick, in the store anyways, I tried to pick what I could, a good bag that had the best combination of stuff, and yeah, that didn't turn out fantastic. Okay. I kind of like this color combination. Because my paint is not like super thick, the other thing that I was considering doing, because I want to leave these bumpy and, you know, with that nice ridge on them, is once they're dry, is taking and putting a dot of the clear glaze on top of the petal or wherever I want that extra. And then once that is dry, then paint over it like I do with the glaze. So it'll have that extra little raised section, and I don't have to keep going over it with color. I don't know if it'll work, but I think I might try it because I really want these little bumps to stand out. Okay. Not decided what I want to do on the sides with these, because I have this empty space in between. On the other ones, I just did one dot, like a larger one that kind of filled the space, but I don't think I have to go that plain. There. Once it's dry, I can do pattern, I think. Let's see if this is dry enough that I can get away with dots on it. The one cool thing about using such small amounts of paint is that it dries very quickly. See. I know what I have for orange. Let me look at this one. What did I have as a size on there? 3? Yeah, I think so. Okay. I'm just going to do this one side and then I think I'll be done for the day. Nice cherry red. I didn't actually use baby duck yellow for my yellow. I'm actually using a cadmium yellow. Stands out better in these colors. Although baby duck is definitely my favorite yellow. Pretty little pastel yellow. Okay. Oh boy, which blue did I use? Turquoise. Funny. And last but not least, magenta, I think. I'm pretty sure that's what I use for purple, yeah. Okay. There. One side complete. Once that's dry, just like on this other one, I'm going to go ahead and add in just a real small dot of the silver again. And then that one will be done. All right, so I got actually more than 3 sets complete today. All right, so I've got my purple, blue. So these ones are, well, this one I shouldn't say is completely done, the blue one, because I need to find something for the center. But this one's done. The little purple one is done. The blue one is almost done. This, I've got to do the opposite side and the accents. But then I did get 2 sets of these flowers done. So I got 2 sets of those. So that worked out great. This one, very, very thin. Yeah, probably gotta find my other thick one. There we go. There we go. And then I've got a thin set and a thick set. Perfect. Happy with today's progress. All right, I have got a ton of other stuff I want to get done. The next thing, again, I've got my little flower discs that I've been working on. And so that was my last one. And I do want to do the pink and orange like I've been talking about, but I just haven't gotten to it yet. We'll get to it. It'll happen eventually. Eventually. I'll get the other ones sealed as well. And then I think that's it. I think that's all that's on my bucket list for right now. I've got so much more stuff though to do. I've got bottles. I have the little fairy jars that I need to work on. I've got a couple more tea lights that I need to do. My first show this year is in August. But it's already halfway through May. And so for whatever reason, I feel like I'm behind. But okay. All right. Well, anyone who stopped by, I certainly do appreciate it. It is nice to have people just along for the ride. Just come and hang out. It's always cool to see. And thank you so much for hanging out. If you've made it this far, make sure that you're subscribed. And I will catch you guys next time. I certainly do appreciate it. Take care. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.